Excuse me, how abrupt. Hi. Welcome to Politically Incorrect. Let me introduce the panel to you tonight. Mr. Harry Hamlin is over here. I'm glad he's back. Fine actor. You got a TBS movie coming up, Disappearance, April 21st, and the LA Law Reunion movie on NBC, May 12th. Thank you for coming back. Farai Chideya, I love Farai Chideya. The Color of Our Future is her book. We don't have it here. She's also got a website, popandpolitics.com, and you are a Knight Fellow.
That's right. That means I get to basically chill out at Stanford, ride my bike around, be a student.
Sounds medieval.
Big up to the Knight Fellows. Woo!
Janice Crouse, this is your book, The Different Kind of Strength, Rediscovering the Power of Being a Woman. Lord knows I would like to. You're also former speechwriter for President George Bush, right. The older version.
Right.
Okay. And Eddie Izzard, looking very butch, one of our finest comedy imports. You'll be starring in The Cat's Meow, opening on April 26th. Give a hand to our panel. That's very nice. Okay. Now, I don't know, Janice, I don't know if you get into the baby bus thing in this book, but this is all I have been seeing on the news for a week, is that women who are middle-aged are suddenly shocked that they can't have children. And all I can think of is, for years, I've been saying that women are in big trouble because we live in such a feminized society that they never hear the truth. Oh. They're like a pampered rock star. Nobody ever says, Elvis, stop eating the peanut butter sandwiches, you're going to die. And what, right? I mean...
What feminized society are we living in again? Explain this to me.
Well, what has happened is we're now saying to women what we've said for men all these years. You know, we've said to men, oh, devote yourself completely to your career. That's the only thing that's important. And now we're saying to women that that's the only way you can measure your significance is if you've got a prestigious career and you're making a huge salary.
Well... I know that's your point of view because I read a part of your book and you believe the answer's in the Bible. Now, I was with you at the part where you said that they worship this false god of feminism. But then when you started with the, you know, but really look to Christ, I was like, okay, I see where you're going with this. But that's not where I'm going with this. I mean, I understand that part of it. And I think that part of it is valid, that women... yes, sometimes want to be on the career track, but the point wasn't that they wanted to be on the career track exclusively. The point was they thought they could have it both ways. To answer your question, there's the feminized society, is that they have this sense of entitlement that they got fed on television or wherever, that they could have everything. And nobody ever told them, Elvis, stop eating the peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
But it's not just women. We say that to men as well. This is not just a women's issue.
You mean I can have a baby?
Well, you probably will by the time you're 50. I'd put money on it. But the point is...
You'd lose that bet. And we are running out of time rapidly, let me tell you.
You can go out and marry any 20-year-old you want to and have a child anytime you want to, but that's
but he can't actually have a baby. He can't have a baby.
No, he can't have one, but he can...
I'm up for that, but I don't think that's happening until I'm 105.
No, if any one of us is going to have a baby, it's going to be you.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, this is not, I mean, all women. I know a lawyer who is in her early 50s. She has 6 children. She's had a flourishing career as a lawyer. She's now a manager. She somehow has done that. So who
does exactly... Does she have a nanny, though?
Oh.
Well, I mean, probably she has a nanny. How is she going to be a lawyer and do that at the same time? Are you saying that women can't have nannies or shouldn't have nannies?
Not at all. And in fact, one of the women that I've gotten to know this year has 4 kids. She's a newspaper publisher, has a great husband, and she has a nanny. I think a lot of this is economics. I think a lot of it is if you're a woman who has to work, your husband has to work, and your kids rely on both of you working, which is basically what's happened in the economy. The 1-earner family is now a 2-earner family. Well,
wait.
No.
Are we talking about women who have to work?
Yeah,
or are we talking about women who've chosen a career path that requires them to put so much time into the job that they can't be a mother?
I think that basically in this society, it's a combination of want to and have to. There are some people who are really squeezed economically and absolutely have to work.
But that's a different issue. These are people who don't. We're talking about women who don't have children, not women who have too many that they can't.
But basically, I think a lot of the women who are not having kids see the other women who are basically working 120-hour weeks
Right.
between home. I mean, basically, if you
No, 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 but
a lot of women who don't have kids are seen as selfish. But when they look at their sisters, their cousins, who are basically losing their minds, working 120 hours a week.
We're talking about women who get to middle age and want children, but
Right.
go, oh gosh, where did the time go? I put all my eggs in no basket.
But I don't. But see,
And they find out, because they saw in the news that Madonna and Jane Seymour and some other really rich freaks of nature had children.
Well, my,
see,
my
I-
son's
freaks
mother,
in a good way. You
my
know?
son's mother was 44 when he was born. Is she a freak of nature? I don't think so. She's,
Yes,
you know,
according to the
Actually, she-
statistics,
Well-
she is, and that's the problem, is that women see
I'll
this.
tell her that the next time I talk to her.
But in a good way. You know, a good freak, you know, they... but no, a freak...
beautiful, wonderful, loving freak.
But not someone to be emulated, because everyone else who thinks, these women, oh, you know what, I'll wait till I'm 40.
She's one of the very, very fortunate ones, because the statistics say that you're not going to have children after 40. 90% of the eggs of women after 40 are abnormal.
But what about
The eggs are toast.
But can you? What about the
That was bad.
They're opposed.
Yeah, well,
But with the what's the fertilization thing called, the in vitro?
In vitro.
In
Yeah.
vitro
That,
fertilization.
with that, it is more likely you can have a baby if you use that process, or is that process very
Well,
expensive, or can we?
It
is that-
doesn't.
very
It doesn't
expensive
work.
and it doesn't work.
It doesn't work all the time. It
But
basically.
they'll probably come up with something better. You see, I think women should be allowed to say, I want to have a baby and I don't want to have a career, and that's okay. Or I do want to have a career and I want to have a baby later. And if we haven't got the in vitro up to speed, let's get some new stuff.
Well, the
Well,
point
there's always...
But that's what we're doing, because I just think women should
Yeah.
have the choice. If they want to have a long career and work to 40 and have a baby at 50, have a baby at 90. Why not? Because we're all getting
Why not?
older.
That's
Because
a
that's not-
utopian world,
That's crazy. It's
Ed.
crazy.
Eddie, you sound just like
It's
a
the third
woman.
millennium. Look, as an action transvestite, I have to put forward a new agenda here, which is basically opening up the possibilities. If women do want to have a baby at 50, then let's get some new in vitro stuff. Get the guy who's got the
How
thing, or
about
the woman who's got
changing
the
the
thing.
attitude from you can do everything all the time to
Right.
make choices in
I'm
life?
saying make choices. I'm saying give them the
Make
choice.
choices that have a
no,
baby at
no.
90.
Yeah,
Bill,
if you had the choice to have the
Oh,
baby
that's-
at 90.
Yes, these women, I believe, have already made choices. You're acting like, I think that everyone is acting like these women just woke up one day and were totally not making choices the other time. I think a lot of women are disappointed that now they couldn't have children, but it's not like they weren't making choices. They made choices all the way along.
But
not
they
to
only
have,
made that
But
choice because they
have the
thought
information.
they could have.
What, are you
both.
saying that they were
They were-
duped? They
they-
were duped into
No,
thinking
no,
they
They
could have
duped
both?
themselves
but it's a-
because no one said Elvis,
well-
don't eat.
Yeah, but hang on. Until these figures came out, they didn't know, and so maybe they didn't have the correct information. But then,
Oh.
at the moment, the in vitro only works to X, and if we get better in vitro, then we will have new information. We can go and have a baby at 50.
No,
Why
Eddie,
not?
they don't have the eggs. It's physically
Well, there's always
impossible.
No, we
cloning.
can get a new egg
so I
machine.
think what we're,
We got to the moon.
All right, I have to say.
You guys got to the moon.
Okay. We were discussing women. You okay?
We're coming apart.
Women and their eggs, and you mentioned cloning. Now, last week, President Bush suddenly went on the warpath against cloning. Said no how, no way, no where, no type. I thought it was very disingenuous because he really muddied the distinction between cloning for spare body parts and the type, the stem cell type that really could cure diseases and is not creating life. But he said also that we would, quote, create a massive national market for eggs and egg donors and exploitation of women's bodies. And of course everyone applauded, because who wants to be seen not applauding being against the exploitation of women's bodies? But what an insult to women, right? To think that they have no more control. They find out their eggs are valuable and they just all run down and sell them.
It does sound that if we've got sperm banks for men, then why can't we have egg banks for women? I mean, I initially...
No one, right? That's funny.
About
You do your own
30%,
laws
yeah.
meter, I see.
Other people going, what? But I was on the cloning thing. I think, like most people, I was going, whoa, this sounds like sheep are going to attack me or something. And we're all going to wait until Star Wars comes out, and then we can find out exactly what happens at the Attack of the Killer Clones. But then when it was explained to me just before that it isn't actually like growing a baby on a hook and saying, right, we'll have the leg. It's actually the cell with the nucleus taken out and information, but it's right there.